guys, thank you for joining me today for this quick Pilates class. I am going to be using a stretchy band. I always pack these when I'm traveling because they weigh basically nothing and they're super easy just to throw into your bag. If you don't have one of these, you can do this without. You can also choose how heavy you want to go. Mine is extra heavy, although I think there's ones that are way more strong than this. So just see how you feel today, choose one that suits you, and always take a break when you need one. Let's start off with just some deep breaths before we get going. So coming into a comfortable position, sitting bottom on heels, or you can sit cross-legged if that's more comfortable from you. And we'll just take some deep breaths. So deep inhale through the nose. And exhale through the mouth. Let's take a few more like that. Trying to make each breath just a little bit deeper and a little bit longer than the last one. And let's bring some shoulder rolls into it. So big rolls through those shoulders. Keep that length through the spine. And let's reverse the circle. Both shoulders, bring them up towards the ears and then slide them down. And again. And let's tuck the chin towards the chest, lengthening through the back of the neck. And take the chin up towards the ceiling. And ear to one shoulder. And over to the other side. Let's shift the bottom over to one side. I'm just going to reach over towards the toes, getting that nice stretch all the way down the side of the body. And let's take it to the other side. Big reach over. And release. Alrighty, let's come down to lying. So grab your stretchy band. We'll come to lie on our back. And we're going to thread that stretchy band, thread our legs through the band, roll it up to just above our knees. I'm going to place those feet onto the mat. Let's find our neutral spine position. So neutral spine position is where you naturally will fall down as you lie on the mat. So you've got your hips and your pubic bone in line, and you probably have that little gap between your lumbar spine and the mat. So nice and relaxed position here. Let's bring the hands behind the head, interlace the fingers, and just rest the head in those hands. We'll just take a few breaths here. Inhale and exhale. One more. Let's prepare. We're going to start off with just an ab curl. So deep inhale through the nose. And then as we exhale, we're going to tuck the pelvis under to curl up. Chest comes towards our thighs as we put pressure on that band to separate through those knees. And then as we release that tension on the band, nice and slow, we're going to roll back down. Head comes back down onto the ground. Exhale, curl up. Inhale, release down. We're here for 8. Nice and slow and controlled. 7, 6, leading from that chest, not from that neck. So make sure we've still got that space underneath our chin. 5 more. 4, 3. On our last one, we're going to curl up and we're going to hold here. Can we hold this ab curl position while we pulse our legs for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4 more, 3. On our last one, just hold a little bit of pressure on that band as we pulse the chest for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4 more. 3. On our last one, can we hold up here? We're just going to take one more breath. Let's inhale together. Exhale. Can we pulse that chest 1 inch high? A little bit of pressure on that band. And then release all the way down. Well done. Let's catch our breath. Whew. Alrighty, this time we're going to bring our right leg into tabletop. So our right leg is in tabletop, and we're just going to leave our left leg where it is. Let's start up in our curl position, and can we try and twist our opposite elbow to the outside of that knee? So we're twisting here. So we're going to twist, and then we're going to extend that leg out long as you bring that chest towards the center. So it's a twist, and then come back through the center. So you'll just feel that little bit of tension on the band as we move that leg. Let's go for 6 more. Working on the obliques now. 5, 4 more, 3. Try to feel both shoulder blades hovering off the mat. 2 more. Last one. And release. Let's reset, catch our breath, and then we'll move to the other side. Apologies. My mat does really not like sitting on carpet. It's just rolling all over the place. Okay. Now that we've caught our breath, let's move to the other side. So back with our hands behind the head, elbows nice and wide. We're going to start off with that left leg in tabletop, and let's come up into our ab curl. Then we're going to twist opposite elbow to the outside of our knee, and then lengthen out long. We're here for 8. Try to use that exhale as we twist. 6, 5, 4 more, 3, 2 more, last one, and release. Nicely done. Let's release our hands from behind our head and just bring them down by our side. We're going to move next into our pelvic curl exercise. So pelvic curl is a roll through the spine as we come up to rest just between those shoulder blades, and then it's a melt down 1 vertebrae at a time back to that neutral spine position. So let's take it nice and slow. We'll start off with a breath in. So deep inhale. As we exhale, let's tuck that pelvis under, feel that lumbar spine touch onto the mat, and then we're going to lift our hips up and lift 1 vertebrae at a time off the mat until we're resting just between those shoulder blades. We're going to take a deep inhale at the top, and then as we exhale, we're going to roll down. So feel like you're melting 1 vertebrae at a time, touching onto that mat all the way down, releasing that pelvis back to our neutral spine position. And we're going to roll up. Exhale to lift. Inhale at the top, and then exhale to roll down. Let's continue here. Thinking about a few things as we're rolling up, making sure we're not coming so far that we come onto the base of the neck. We only want to come as far as those in between the shoulder blades. And let's think about shortening the distance between the bottom of our rib and the top of our hip. And that will keep us nice and tight through our waist, and it will stop us from flaring through those ribs. Trying to focus each time on getting it a little bit smoother, like you're massaging your spine into the mat. Let's go for 3 more. 2. On our last one, let's roll up, and we're going to lift our hips, hold it here. Beautiful. We're going to tap our tailbone onto the mat, lift our hips up, and then pulse those knees into the band. So it's a tap, lift, pulse. Nice. 2. Still thinking about that rib to hip connection. So we've got that nice tightness through the core, pressing through those heels, squeezing into the glutes. Tap, lift, pulse. Can we go for 4 more here? 3. Feeling that burn through the glutes. 2 more. On our last one, let's keep our hips lifted. Nice. Inhale through the nose. Exhale, rolling down 1 vertebrae at a time all the way back to our neutral spine position. Let's release our hips, just holding onto your knees, and just rock side to side, massaging the back of the hips into the mat. We'll have a breather here, and then we'll come back to the rest of our pelvic curl. All right, let's come into our second set. So feet are coming back onto the mat. We've got our neutral spine position. Arms are just rest down by our side. Deep inhale to prepare. And then exhale, tuck the pelvis under, lift the hips, and we're rolling to rest just between those shoulder blades. Now we're going to try and really ground down through that left heel, squeeze through the waist, and you have your palms there on the mat if you need them. Can we lift our right leg into tabletop, feel that pressure on the band, and then step it back, and then the left. Nice, so we're marching here, really squeezing through the waist to try and minimize that movement as we alternate legs. Trying to keep those hips lifted. Nice. Just make sure we're not holding any tension in that neck. It's all through our waist and our glutes. Alternating here. Can we go 2 more either side? 1 more. Either side, bringing both feet back onto the mat. Holding here just to finish. Can we drop the hips just an inch and lift them up an inch? We're here for 16. Squeezing into those glutes as much as you can. 13, 12, 11, 9. Pressing through those heels. We have 5 more. 3. Last one. We're going to hold here, take a deep inhale, and then exhale. Let's melt down 1 vertebrae at a time, all the way back down to the mat, touching down, and let's hug those knees into the chest. And we'll just again rock side to side, releasing that tension through the back of our hips. Beautiful. Let's take that band and we're going to roll it down all the way to our feet, and then we're going to lengthen our legs out long. I am going to just fix my mat because again I've rolled all over the place. Alrighty, so our band is just on our feet, and just give yourself a little bit of tension so you can hold onto the mat, onto the band, and then we're going to roll all the way down onto our back. So the band's going to help us in our roll up, squeezing through the glutes, squeezing through the core. Exhale, curl the chest up, squeeze through the waist. See how you go. Can you use that tension on the band to come all the way up to sitting? Nice. Then we're going to tuck the pelvis under, roll back. Try to feel 1 vertebrae at a time touch onto the mat all the way down. And again, curling up, squeeze through the waist, rolling all the way up to sitting. And then we're going to tuck through the pelvis, roll back, 1 vertebrae at a time. So for this one, the more tension you have on your band, the more help it's going to give you rolling up. So really focusing on that control here. Now don't worry if you're here and you can't come up. Just squeeze here, just go up 1 inch and down 1 inch. Find your own range. Eventually you'll be able to come all the way up. Let's just try a few more here. One thing that will help you is that exhale. So if you coordinate that squeeze through the waist and your exhale, that will help you come all the way up. Let's go for 2 more. And last one, we're going to come all the way up and we're going to try and fold forward. So you can take that band off. If you can, hold on to your calves, your shins, your ankles, your feet, whatever feels comfortable for you. We're going to try and reach forward. So lengthening through that lumbar spine, like you're folding yourself forward like a book. If you can, try to make that head heavy right at the end. Just get that nice stretch down the back of the legs. Let's take a couple of breaths here. And again, as we exhale, just see if you can sink a little bit deeper into this pose. And release. All right, let's come into some side lying. So we're going to grab the band. We're going to roll the band up just above our knees, and we're going to come to lie on our side. So I'm on my left side, so my right leg is up towards the ceiling. Now I want to have my toes in line with my hips, and then that's in line with my shoulders, in line with my elbow. If it doesn't feel good for you to have your elbow on the mat with your head in your hand, you can just lengthen that arm out long and rest your head in your upper arm. So whatever feels better for you. From here, I want to try and press my top hip away from me and lift through the waist. So I want to try and keep a little space between my waist and the mat, or just that feeling of being lifted. Nice. You can rest your right hand onto the mat just in front of you or onto your hip, whatever feels better for you. Let's lift the heels and toes off the mat so our knees are pointing downwards, but we've still got that top hip pressing away. Squeeze the heels as hard as you can together, and we're going to open that top knee up like a clamshell and then close it down. The harder you squeeze your heels together, the more you're going to feel this in the glutes and right at the top of your inner thigh. So open and close. Nice. Keep that tension through the waist. Really good. All right, focusing here on keeping our hips facing forward. So what we don't want to do is, as we open that knee, to open the hip and roll it back. We're going to keep both hips stacked and rolled forward. Can we go for 8 more? 7, 6, 5. Starting to feel that burn now. Squeezing through both heels, squeezing those heels together. 3 more. 2. On our last one, can we open that knee out? We're going to try a little controlled pulse. So just close that knee 2 inches, open it up 2 inches for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4 more, 3, 2. Last one, we're going to hold it here. Can we take one breath in together? And as we exhale, can we pulse that leg 1 inch further? And then release. Well done. Let's just release through that glute. You can give it a good tap. Whew. Alrighty, next bit. We'll have a nice slow setup so we can catch our breath. We're going to bring our legs a little bit more forward now. So imagine you're in a 90-degree angle with those legs. So again, straight line from head to hips. Press that top hip away. We've got our straight line coming forward to our knees, and then try to feel like your shins are just tracing that front line of your mat. So you've got a 90-degree angle of your legs. Keep that waist lifted away from the mat. We're going to lift that right leg up and then point the toes straight forward in front of us. Internally rotate that leg and then relax the toes down. And we are tapping and lifting. Let's go for 16. 15. This one will really get into that glute and our IT. 13. 12. 11. 10. 9. 8. 7. 6. 5. 4 more. Almost there. 2. Last one. Let's lift that leg up, and can we pulse just for 8. 7, 6, burning now. 4 more. Can we make our last pulse just go 1 inch higher and release? Well done. Give that glute a good tap. And we're going to come straight around to the other side. So spin around. I'm going to fix my mat again. And we're going to roll over. So now I'm on my right side. Just move my microphone so it's not in the way. Let's start off with our clamshell. So again, for our clams, we've got our feet are in line with our hips, are in line with our shoulders. Press that top hip away, and we're squeezing that waist, trying to lift it away from the mat. Let's lift our heels and toes up. So our toes are up and our knees are angled down. Again, we are squeezing those heels together as hard as we can. Exhale, let's open that top knee up like a clamshell and then close it down. Open and close. I should say, if this is getting a little bit too much with that band, you can do this without the band. Just take it off, and maybe sometime in the future you can add that band in, whatever feels good for you today. Let's go for 8 more. 8, 7, keep that tension through the waist. 5, 4 more. 3, 2. We're going to open that knee out on this last one. We've got our control pulses just for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4 more. 3. On our last one, let's try and lift that leg 1 inch higher and release. Well done. give that leg a bit of a pat out. Catching our breath. Okay, let's set up for our next glute. So again, we're going to swing those knees a little bit further forward. So we're going to find that 90-degree angle of our legs. Straight line shoulders to hips, our knees are coming straight forward, and then our shins to our toes, just tracing that outside of our mat. Let's lift our left leg up and we're going to point it forward. Internally rotate that leg from the hip and relax the toes down. Try to keep that waist lifted and engaged. We're here for 16, 15, 13. I think I did 8 on the other side. Apologies. Let's just go for 8. Let's go for 4 more. 3, 2. We're going to hold up on this last one, and can we pulse just for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4 more. On our last one, can we lift that leg up 1 inch higher and release? Well done. Whew. Okay, let's come up to sitting. You can take that band off your legs. We'll do a little bit of arms. So coming into a comfortable position, I'm going to sit bottom on heels. If that's no good for you, you can sit cross-legged. Just find a position that's nice and comfy, that you can have a straight spine and engage your core. We're going to bring the band around our wrists. Lengthen through the spine, roll the shoulders back, and we're going to lift those arms up in line with our shoulders. Just open the arms out, putting pressure on the band, and then resist as they recoil back together. Can we go for 16? 15. Focusing on that core strength here as well to maintain our stability and our posture while we're here. 12, 11, 10, 9, 7, 6. Feeling this through the shoulders. 4 more. 3. On our last one, can we put pressure on that band? Find our extension point and tiny little quick pulses. 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Last one, and release, rolling through those shoulders. Whew. Alrighty, next one. Arms are going straight forward, and then we're going to bend the elbows. So you've got that 90-degree angles of our 90-degree angle of our elbows. That is a tongue twister. Try and keep your arms in alignment as we press our back of our wrists into the band, and then release here. Let's go for 16, 15, 14, 13, 10. If this is too much with the band, again, you can do this without, or just find one that's a little bit less tension. I wish I'd packed one with less tension now. Whew. Let's go for 4 more. 2 more. Let's hold that pressure on the band. We have our pulses. 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Last one, and release. Rolling through those shoulders. Beautiful. Last one here. We are almost finished. Can we try and keep the pressure on the band? So same 90-degree angle position. We're just going to lift those arms and then lower them down. Try to keep them in line. So we're keeping that pressure on the band the whole time. This one does not look like much, but I can really feel it. So I hope you can too. We have 8 more here. Keep that tension through the waist. 7, 6, 5, 4 more, 3. Last one. Can we lift those arms up? Little pulses. 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11. Starting to shake now. 5 more. Last one, and release, rolling those shoulders. Whew, well done. Let's do a couple of stretches to finish off, starting with those arms, because mine are sore. So crossing one arm over the chest. See if you can exhale into that stretch. And let's swap to the other side. one for our glutes. So coming to sitting, we're going to extend one leg out long and we're going to cross our opposite ankle over that knee. And then from there, if you want a little bit more of a stretch, you can fold yourself forward. You might have enough just from sitting, but see if you can fold yourself forward. If you can, making that head heavy right at the end, just to really release into that glute and hip opener. One more breath. And release. Let's swap to the other side. So opposite ankle just on top of our opposite knee, lengthening through the spine, pressing that knee down towards the mat as we fold ourselves forward. Try to make that head heavy right at the end. Exhaling into this stretch. And release. Let's come into a comfortable position, cross-legged, resting those hands on our knees. Let's pull onto those knees as we open through the chest, look up towards the ceiling, find that arch through the spine, and then roll the opposite way, chin towards the chest. We are rolling backwards. And then just moving through those two poses, stretching through the body, the chest, the waist. Bringing our breath back down. Let's go one more either way. And coming back to our comfortable position. We are all done. Great job, guys. That was challenging. It's amazing how much extra pressure just a small band can put on things. Thank you so much for joining me. Don't forget to comment or like. Let me know what you want to see in the next class. And don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you in the next video.